Hi friends, welcome to another video of Big Tech Talk. In today's video, we will learn how to rename a column in a data frame using Apache Spark and Scala. So let's start the video. There are few ways to rename the column in a data frame using Apache Spark and Scala, and we will look few of them. We can rename column using with column rename function. Spark has a with column rename function which can be used to rename column names. This is the most straightforward approach. This function takes two parameters. The first is your existing column and the second is the new column name. There will be no operation if the schema does not contain the existing column name. We can use alias or as to rename a column. Alias or as can be used to rename an existing column while selecting them. We can use toDef function to rename the column. When we have input in a flat structure schema, use of toDef function with a new schema to change all or some column name will be really helpful. Now let me go to my Eclipse IDE and write some code to implement column rename. This is my Eclipse IDE. I have already created a project with the name as Learning Spark, and com.spark.tutorial is my package name. So let me create a Scala object. Right click on the package, go to New and click on Others. Search for the Scala object. Give a name to your Scala object. I will give the name as column rename. Okay, so this is my Scala object. Now let me create a main method. So I will write def main args, which is array of type string. Now let me set the logger level as error so that I can remove info log from the output. So I will write logger, which is of type Apache log4j dot get logger, and the class is org. And then I will set the level as error. Now I will create a Spark instance. So I will write val spark equals to Spark session dot builder dot app name. I will set the app name as column rename, and then dot master. I will set the master as local since I am running Spark on my local system, and at last get or create. Okay, so my Spark session object is created. Now let me read a CSV file. So I will write val df equals to Spark, which is a Spark session object, dot read dot format. I will mention the format as CSV, and then in the option I will mention header as true, as we know that our input file has column header, and then load, in which I will mention the path of the file. So this is my input file. So I will write sample underscore data and then matches.csv. This is very similar to what we have done in the previous video. Let's have a quick look on our df by df.show. I want only 5 records in the output and the truncate to those records is set to false. Let's save the code and execute it. Right click, run as Scala application. Looks like I have mentioned the wrong path. It should be single dot. Right click, run as Scala application. So these are the column names. I am interested in the column with the name as season, team 1 and team 2. I will rename season as year, team 1 as team A and team 2 as team B. So let's see how we can rename column using with column rename function. So I will write println rename column using with column renamed. Val df column rename 1 equals df dot with column renamed, and in the bracket I will mention season and the new column will be year. Since I have to rename team 1 and team 2 also, so I can use a chain of with column renamed function. So dot with column renamed team 1 will be team A and dot with column renamed team 2, that will be team B. Now let's print it by df column renamed 1 dot show 5, false. Let me show column rename by alias and as. So I will write println rename column using alias. Val df column rename 2 equals df dot select, and in the bracket I will mention df and the column name, which is id, comma df and then season dot alias, and the column name will be year. Same thing will apply for the team 1 and team 2 also. Now let's print it by df column rename 2 dot show 5, false. We can use as function, which basically comes from SQL syntax, to rename a column. So I will write println rename column using as. Val df column rename 3 equals df dot select, and in the bracket I will mention df and the column name, which is id, comma df the next column, which is season dot as, I'll mention it as year, and the same thing will apply for team 1 and team 2 also. Let's print it by df column rename 3 dot show 5, false. And if I execute the code, you will see that with column renamed function, alias and as are able to rename the column. So right click, run as Scala application. As you can see, this is the original data frame with the column name as season, team 1 and team 2. And when I have used with column renamed function, only column names are changed. Value still remains the same. Same is the case with alias and as. So till now we have seen how to change the column name one at a time. If you have column name in a sequence, then we can change multiple columns at a time using 2df function. So let me show the code to do it. I will write println rename column using 2df. Val new columns equals sequence, and it will have the list of all the columns. So let me write it. I have changed season to year, team 1 to team A and team 2 to team B. Then I will write val df column rename 4 equals df dot 2df and the variable which contains new column. Now let's print it by df column rename 4 dot show 5, false. Let's save the code and execute it. Right click, run as Scala application. As you can see, our output has renamed column in it. So we can use toDef also to rename the columns. So we are done with today's video. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. Do hit the like button and subscribe for more such videos. Thank you.